These third-generation Hemi engines are known for lifter tick. Dodge and Chrysler say that it's normal, but that's not my kind of normal. The noise you hear is because the lifters are not getting enough oil inside that allow them to stay in constant contact with the camshaft as it rotates. A common upgrade to prevent the camshaft from depositing its magic metal dust into the rest of your engine is to delete the MDS system and install an upgraded oil pump. It's not recommended to upgrade the oil pump without deleting the MDS system because the car's computer will freak out when it sees an oil pressure higher than it is programmed to operate at. Also, if your lifter tick is more of a slap or a bang, you probably have a roller that is frozen and wearing off the lobes of your camshaft. In my research online, a frequent discussion in the Hemi community is what brand of lifters you should get for your MDS delete and rebuild. After searching many forums and discussions among the community, the most success stories that I have seen are with the Hellcat lifters. Now these lifters are technically the same hydraulic lifters you would get in any third-gen Hemi that did not have the MDS from factory. 6.1 SRT, 5.7 RT manual, and others. But at some point, there was an update to the design of the lifters. This update increased the needle bearings in the rollers to help prevent them from seizing. But why did they seize? Not enough oil pressure at operating temperatures to keep the lifters from collapsing. There are many other reputable brands that sell replacement lifters. In Hemi community forums, people have mentioned that those brands work just fine for them. But people have also mentioned having the same lifter slap after replacing them with brand name lifters. The most successful testimonies I hear are using the Mopar part number 5038784AD lifters, aka the Hellcat lifters. I had considered using AMS products as they are very popular, but the main issue is that many of the aftermarket lifters that they use have a weep hole underneath the roller, which does not allow the lifter to retain its oil pressure and therefore contact against the camshaft as it rotates. The claim is that this weep hole lets oil onto the camshaft and lifter rollers to get more oil on the contact surfaces. But let's not forget that the reason the rollers are failing in the first place is because of impact. The lifters that Dodge uses in their 700 plus horsepower engines do not have these little weep holes. And that's good enough street cred for me. So after doing all the research and coming to the conclusion that the Hellcat lifters are the best bet, I set off to find the best possible prices for these lifters. So I went to the Bay. No, not the Pirate Bay. eBay. So here's the deal about buying these lifters. First of all, good lifters are not cheap. The 5038784AD, dubbed Hellcat lifters, typically go for approximately $600 US for a set of 16 lifters with their respective trays. Now, the non-MDS lifter trays and the MDS lifter trays are not the same, so you want to make sure that the correct trays are included with your lifters before you purchase. The genuine Hellcat lifters are manufactured in Germany, not China, not Malaysia, nor anywhere else. To me, this speaks volumes on the quality of manufacturing required for lifters in a 700 plus horsepower engine. $600 for lifters alone to me is not exactly budget friendly, especially when you can find other lifters for a fraction of the price compared to the German-made ones. But you know what they say, buy once, cry once. Well, at least, hopefully. So after searching the Bay for the best possible deals I could get for these lifters, I stumbled across some listings that were listed with the proper part numbers. They claimed OEM authenticity, but something seemed a little off. This is typical with most counterfeit products. They look okay overall, they look almost exactly the same, but something is off. This should be your first sign. First of all, these boxes are slightly different. They are pretty close to the genuine OEM Mopar packaging and tags you would see that these lifters come in. Almost the same, but not quite. What I found on some of these listings as I looked into them a little deeper are that these discount Hellcat lifters had weep holes. Now that's kind of funny. They look identical to the Chinese $20 lifters, and even similar to the same lifters found in the popular kits from AMS. Well, that can't be right. Even the Mopar packaging labels had the right numbers, but the font was a little different. I messaged these sellers asking if they were in fact genuine. The ones I found right away are even a more obvious counterfeit than what I had seen before. Even better, the pictures of the counterfeit lifters themselves are stolen from another eBay listing, a listing from a reputable seller, and I can prove it right here. It's not a big surprise to see counterfeit items on eBay, but it is still alarming. One of these eBay sellers had just sold 2 counterfeit packages. At a $600 average price for the full set of lifters with trays, it does leave room for fraudsters to obtain realistic packaging and charge less while still making good profits. Watch out, people. eBay is selling fake Hellcat lifters. Here are real Hellcat lifters. Basically, they're just non-MDS lifters. You can see the number there. And notice how there's no bleed holes. And you will notice the correct amount of roller bearings in it. You see the roller bearings there. No bleed holes. You do not want these bleeding out. I want them to hold pressure. These are genuine Mopar Hellcat lifters. There are some on eBay that come in a box that look legitimate. But really, when you see the lifters pictured, they are just the cheap Chinese knockoffs. God really blessed me because I was fortunate enough to find a used set of the genuine lifters for just around $250, and they were in great condition, working perfectly in my RT Charger, especially being paired up with a Melling 10342 high volume, high pressure oil pump. The lifter slap has been completely fixed on my Hemi, and I will be releasing a video showing all the parts and prices for the rebuild. One thing that I am excited to share with you is which camshaft that I used. It is something that I think you will find very interesting, as I have not found any testimony online of anybody else using this particular cam yet. So thanks for watching. If you found this video helpful, leave a like or a dislike. If you have any comments or opinions on which lifters you recommend, whether or not one should upgrade their oil pump, or any stories from your Hemi rebuilds, put them down below in the comments. Peace.